Okay, welcome. It's my great pleasure to have on my podcast Ewan Gotfryd.
Hello, hello.
All right, yeah.
Woo!
Yeah, we're just talking about your experience with doing characters on The Simpsons. I'm really impressed because I speak with an accent, and there's no character on The Simpsons with an Asian accent, Chinese accent, I mean.
Yeah, no, I don't think anymore. There might be like some very minor characters, but they're very rare.
Yeah.
Because I guess not Chinese characters. I can't think of any Chinese characters off the top of my head. I can think of Japanese ones because they do the Homer Simpson has like his face looks like a Japanese mascot, and so they would do a lot of episodes like that. I remember that one.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well. So besides, I know you're a comedian, and then you performed in theaters, doing characters, you did a lot of stuff. But now your main focus is in production now, right?
Because I've always grown up, wanting to do film and television.
Yeah,
and so that was kind of always my main focus.
Okay, and now you're in the right place.
Oh yeah,
smack in the middle of Hollywood.
Smack in the middle, right on Sunset Boulevard.
I know, and you told me they recorded Sound of Silence in this very studio.
They did. Simon and Garfunkel recorded the Sound of Silence here. The Beatles have recorded in this room.
It's actually very quiet here.
Oh, so quiet.
Because we're talking, but when we stop talking, there's like you can't hear anything. It's just so quiet.
You can hear the sound of silence.
Oh yeah, exactly. Right place for it.
Yeah.
And I love the setting though. This you can see the pipe.
No, it's
candles with tears dripping down. It's a great setting.
Yeah, it's a great set. It's from our new TV show coming out. Sometime soon. I can't say when just yet, but we got a new TV show coming out.
Congratulations!
Thank you.
Man.
Yeah, it's going to be a great show. Make sure you all watch it, or else I will find you. I will find you.
Oh yeah. We'll knock on your doors.
Yeah, exactly.
What are you not watching?
Yeah, I'm going to wake you up in the middle of the night. Why haven't you watched the episodes yet?
So, by the way, I heard that you didn't grow up in LA.
No. I originally grew up in Ireland.
Oh, really?
On and off. I grew up on and off in Ireland.
So is it Ewan more of Irish first name or Scottish?
It's funny. My first name is more Welsh. So it could be Welsh Irish, it could be Welsh Scottish.
Okay.
But I rarely find any Irish Ewans. It's kind of a hit or miss.
Yeah.
It's a hit or miss. There's more Scottish or British Ewans.
Exactly. Yeah. Ewan McGregor.
That's the only other one.
Yeah. I mean, he's not as handsome as you are, but still.
Thank you. Sometimes I get the high ground.
So how many years have you been in Hollywood now?
Oh, geez. In Hollywood specifically, or working in Hollywood?
Just specifically.
Specifically, I guess it would be since 2010. When I first came to Hollywood.
Okay.
So now that's 15 years, I guess, now, in Hollywood specifically, but like working in entertainment since, almost over 20 years now.
Wow. Yeah. So you know so much about Hollywood,
I try.
Yeah.
I try.
Yeah,
I mean, you got to love the history here. You got to love everything that was, just kind of what built us,
But I'm very new to Hollywood. That's one thing I kind of wanted to ask. So, what do you think is the essence of Hollywood? I used to live in Boston. I know that town. Like Irish tradition, high tech. That's Boston. But how would you define Hollywood? Just
Hollywood is the food for me. You get so much food here and so much food culture here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it's a blend of everybody, and then everybody wants to take photographs of that food and document it.
Okay.
So Hollywood has a lot of food that I think
everything
of.
is celebrity here.
Yeah, everything. Even the food's a celebrity.
Honestly, when I was in Boston, sometimes they have this food from LA. I didn't believe it. I was like, it's impossible people in LA eat this stuff. But I'm coming here, I was like, oh, they do eat it.
Yeah. Or they order it, take the photograph, have 2 bites, and go, oh, I'm famished. I'm done.
Stay famished. Also, what impressed me about you is you know so much about Hollywood stories and history. I remember you told me the story the other day where Mike Tyson wasn't even the main character. I was like, wow, what a story.
Yeah, the porn's, it's going to get graphic, people.
It's okay. Well, we're all adults.
Some of us a little immature for adults, but we're there. But it was a thing that happened to me right in the beginning when I first kind of moved out to Hollywood. I came out here, I didn't know a ton of people, but I was like networking, and I had already worked in the prior, so people wanted to know who I was and network. And I had done some indie horror film with a few actresses, and one of them on it was an adult film actress. And she invited me.
But did you know she's an adult actress when you hired her?
Okay. I knew she was an adult film actress because it was like the cameo they were doing in the horror film was for an adult film actress.
But she does know how to act, right?
Yeah, she knew how to act. She was actually really good at acting.
But that's my point. Remember during the Me Too movement, some of the porn stars wanted to join. But they're like, no, we don't want porn stars. We want real actors. But I'm like, come on, porn stars just didn't have the good script. That's my take.
Yeah. But there's some good ones that had some great acting, and like she was a great actress. And she had invited me out to her birthday party.
Oh, okay.
And I, this was like one of my very first parties, Hollywood parties.
Oh, okay.
So I show up to this house, and every car is like a Lamborghini, Maserati, something fancy, something that I know nothing about other than it's expensive as hell, don't touch it. And so I go into the party, and I'm there with my ex-wife now, and her sister. And so we're walking around and looking at everything, and like they're very Irish, and we're, just kind of taking in the sights. There's music and guitars everywhere because she was married to a musician, like a famous older 80s musician.
Oh, wow.
And so we're there, and we start talking to this massive guy. When I say massive, like 7'5" at least, I would guess. And he's big. Jacked. Jacked. Yeah, like, I don't know what this guy was, but he was a mountain of a man. And so he starts talking to us, very friendly, asking us all these questions, where we're from, why we're here, who we know, all this. And then mid-conversation, and he has a very thick accent. I don't even know what the accent is, but I'm just going to do a horrible one. It sounds like Arnold Schwarzenegger almost.
Oh, okay.
But he asked me mid-conversation, he goes, "Do you guys party?"
Oh.
And I'm like, what the fuck does he mean? I'm at a porn star party, so I'm like, is he talking about like a threesome? Like, I'm panicking. Like I look at my ex-wife, she's panicking a little bit because she doesn't know, and she's on the same wavelength as me going, oh my God, is this a threesome? What the hell's going on?
Yeah.
But her sister, who's drunk out of her mind at this point, is thinking in the Irish way of partying.
Yeah.
And so she's like, "What's wrong with you? Of course we party,"
Oh.
And we're like, "What the fuck are you saying?"
Yeah, line dancers.
Right? Yeah. And so he's like, "Okay, great. Follow me." And so he starts leading us through this mansion. And I'm looking at her, like my ex-wife, the whole time going like, where are we going? Are we gonna go to like a sex dungeon? Are we about to get fucked? Like, I don't know what the hell's going on, but I'm freaking the fuck out, and she's freaking out. Meanwhile, her sister's just like da 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 da, and so we're like, oh shit. And so
alcohol does wonders.
So much. So we go down this long hallway, and he opens up a bedroom door. And I was like, I fucking knew it! And of course, on the bed, sure as shit, there are 2 people naked, making out, kind of getting ready to go at it.
Oh.
But to put the cherry on top of the cake, there is a little person or dwarf, however you want to call it.
Okay.
In the room as well. Yeah. And not on the bed, just around the bed, just being like, yeah, oh yeah, oh that's nice. You know?
Wait a minute, were there cameras around?
No, there was no cameras in that room. It was just for fun, apparently. And so I'm just like,
God, you see, the porn is real.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes it's real. It's a real emotion.
Oh my God, I can't believe that.
But the whole time, I'm just like, oh no. The whole time, I'm just like, holy shit. I'm like, it's gonna be an orgy. Like I fucking knew it. I fucking knew it. You know, my ex-wife was like, I knew it. You know. But he leads us into the bedroom, then takes us off into this tiny little bathroom, and I mean tiny little bathroom. It is maybe the size of just this little section right here, you know, like the toilet's there, the sink, you know, it's us. So he crams us all into this tiny little bathroom, and he reaches around me, and I'm like, am I gonna have to suck this guy's dick? What is going on right now? And he closes the door behind me, and I'm panicking. My heart's like, I'm just
He did reach around just to close the door.
Yeah, reached around.
He's grabbing some knob.
Yeah, he's grabbing some knob for sure. But so he closes the door, and I'm just like, oh God, what is next?
Oh God.
And I look at my ex-wife, and she's just like,
anything or
no, I didn't know. But the whole time, her sister's just like,
oh, okay.
Yeah. And so we're standing there, and thank God he reaches into his pocket, pulls out a little baggie of cocaine. And I was just like, oh, thank God, it's just drugs. It's just
that's
hard
what you
drugs.
thank God for now.
I was like, well, hey, at least it's coke and not a cock. You know? But and so, you know, he's like, hey, you guys want to have a bump? And I have never done coke in my entire life. I've never tried.
You have never done cock, but you know.
Well, I won't say that I haven't done cock. No. But so I've never done coke, and it was in those moments where you're like, hey, you're in Hollywood. What are you gonna do? You know, like what's gonna be in that moment? Like it's that party moment of choice. You're in Hollywood at a porn star birthday party. And there's a big scary man offering you drugs. You're just gonna say yes, you know. And so of course he goes puts in the Coke has a little money sign on it, like a dollar sign. So you know it's expensive when they're putting labels of money on the drugs.
Oh, really? I didn't know.
Well, I'm going on a guess.
Oh man!
I'm like, if you're gonna label it with money, then I'm guessing it's money.
You know what? I'm gonna get a money sign with a gold chain in the future.
Please, I'll gift you one.
I got to prove myself. You know?
So he puts the little like little tab thing in there.
Okay. Yeah.
But instead of, you know, just doing a bump and then passing the whole thing, he goes to like spoon feed me the bump. And this is a big man. Oh. I'm in a tight little bathroom. The whole time I thought I was going there to get fucked, and thankfully I wasn't. But I'm just kind of like, you know, like, I don't know what's going on. Oh. And he goes to go up to my nose. And it was at that moment that my back is still to the bathroom door. Okay. And through that bathroom door, which is a thin bathroom door, all I hear is the two people on the bed and the dwarf going, oh, yeah, that's really nice. Oh, yeah. Oh, look at them nice tits. Oh, yeah. And I cannot contain myself as the Coke is going up to me. And I look up at this big guy and I snort laugh. Oh, Coke everywhere. And he goes, oh, and I'm like, well, if I didn't have to suck this guy's dick before, I'm definitely going to have to suck it now. Oh, no. And I'm like, oh, my God. And so, you know, he goes and to my ex-wife, who she didn't care. So she does her bump, goes to sister. She does her bump, goes back to me. And he's like, no, don't screw this one up, as he coming up to me. And I'm like, yeah, sure. And it is all I'm hearing on the other side of the door is just, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And so I'm panicking, sweating, and I'm not even on drugs. Oh. And of course, it goes up to my nose. And what happens? Oh, God. Again. And I look up at him, my big old peepers, and he looks down at me with his glaring eyes, and I'm like, this guy is gonna fuck me so hard after this. I've probably wasted a few $100s on those giggles.
I totally feel you, because the more you want to withhold laughs,
it's so hard.
The worse it gets.
It's so hard. And so of course I just have to lie and be like, I'm sorry, man, I'm already way too fucked up. And he was like, clearly. And so I'm just like, and he's angry looking. He does his bump again. You know, the girls do another bump, and he doesn't offer to me again. So I'm like, whew, you know. So of course I screwed up my only chance to try cocaine for free. You know, and then
which you regret to this day.
Damn you! Damn you, comedy! And so the guy reaches underneath my arm, like straight up underneath me, and I'm just like, oh my god, this is when it happens. He's gonna fuck me now. And he opens the door and just kind of squeezes me against the wall, like clearly not even treating me like I was a human anymore.
Oh god!
And they all leave the room, and by this time, me coming out of the bathroom. The dwarf is now butt-ass naked on the bed with the two people, and the three of them are just a body of skin and slapping and just, you know, and I'm just like, oh my god, what is happening? What is happening?
Wait a minute.
And I'm not high. I'm the only one not on drugs. Not drunk.
That's what I was about to say. You probably had the most clear view.
Oh my god!
It was, among the three people, who attract your attention the most?
I mean, I don't want to be that guy, but I was definitely checking out the dwarf. I just wanted to see what the dimensions were, and let me tell you, he was hung. He had a good baby arm.
Oh my god!
And so of course we go back into the party. The girls are off doing their thing, all happy, hunky dory. I'm sober as a sheet, just sitting in the kitchen, like. And then I get told Mike Tyson's at the party. And I'm a huge Mike Tyson fan. Like, I grew up, knowing boxing and Mike Tyson. So I'm like...
This was before he bit somebody's ear off or after?
Oh, this is after he bit the ear off.
Okay.
After he bit the ear off. And so I'm excited. I'm like, oh my God, I know Mike Tyson smokes weed. And so I was like, well... I don't do cocaine, obviously, but I'll smoke weed. So I was like, I'm going to go smoke weed with Mike Tyson. This is going to be an epic night.
Yeah.
So I go out there. I'm making my way over to Mike Tyson. Like, yeah, Mike Tyson, I got joints. And then right next to him, who's sitting next to him? But the big, scary goat guy, and they're best buds. Like, they are hugging each other, chatting it up. And I get over there.
I'm pretty sure he put a good word in for you.
No. I'm gonna be sucking a lot of dick that night. No. But no, like he looked right at me and he just goes, just in the most stern, scary face, just
okay.
And I'm like, oh shit, all right, I guess I'm not gonna meet Mike Tyson tonight. So I turn my little tail and I go back to the kitchen and I just sit there in the kitchen the entire night, sober as a sheet, by myself, watching a bowl of fruit as all these porn stars keep coming through, grabbing fruit all night. And I'm just like, yeah, this is the greatest Hollywood party ever. So that's the Mike Tyson one.
Oh wow!
He wasn't the main character.
Yeah.
But that little guy was.
Man, well, that was such a wild story, though. You went to this birthday party, and she's not even the main character in the story. What was she doing there? She was just
living it up. I think I saw her one time, and I just said, "Oh, hey," and she went, "Oh, you came," and I was like, "No, not yet, not yet."
I thought it was going to have to. Not going to.
Thought I was going to be in for a very different night.
Oh wow, Jesus!
Oh
wow, shit.
So
that was
crazy.
Before you did the Simpsons characters.
Yeah, this is way before. This is like when I first arrived. So this was like right at like 2010. Right in the beginning of 2010, maybe early 2011. I don't know.
Wait, I'm kind of curious. As I'm pretty sure a lot of audience will be curious too. Were these porn stars happy about their lives, or
I've never met. Let's just say I know a lot of porn stars.
No. At least you cast one. Just like
like I've never met an unhappy porn star.
Oh really?
Yeah, like I've never met an unhappy. They're usually so confident in themselves and their bodies and what they do. It's not like degrading to them. It's a job.
Okay.
At least the ones I know.
Oh yeah. But I only heard stories about them. Usually most of the stories on the news are just kind of, bad news or negative news,
Yeah.
So that's why I'm just kind of curious. Does that represent most of them, or just,
My guess is you only want to tell drama.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to hear about the happy porn star who's living life on $5 million a year.
Oh, really? How much do they make?
Well, I mean, especially nowadays with people that do OnlyFans.
Yeah.
I hear insane numbers all the time, and I'm just like, maybe I should do some OnlyFans. Maybe I need to get in on this game. Give me a blonde wig and a pair of silicone titties.
Actually, I heard there were guys on OnlyFans now. Some comedians are putting their sets on OnlyFans.
Are you trying to get me to subscribe?
Hey, follow me on OnlyFans.
There's a lot of jokes we can make with that one.
But I have to say, good for them. It is tough work. Just like most people can't do it. That's for sure.
No, it's you really got to practice. Got to get one of those shake weights and really just get into it.
Wait a minute. You're giving me advice? What do you think I'm going to do with it?
Well, yeah, we know what you're going to do with
it. Go home and freak out. No.
You used to want to know who the porn star's birthday party was, so you could be like, I'm just going to fact check. What was the name again? No, I'm not going to search too hard.
Oh, man. But I've been to our studio before. I just remember that I just saw a room full of people, working on different shows.
Yeah. We gotta, because as a new comedy studio, Bannock Jones is really trying to push forward as being like the comedy brand. How like nowadays you have these new studios like A24 who come up and they just make these great artistic dramas and different films that are it's artistic and original and unique. You always know that's what A24 movies are.
Yeah.
And then you got other studios like Blumhouse who have been around longer, but they've really come into their own in the last few years, and they're like the studio for fresh horror. Like you want to watch a horror movie, you go to a Blumhouse movie. But nowadays, if you really think about it, if you think a comedy movie, there's really no studios that put that out that are just like stamped. You see the name, it's a great comedy or an interesting comedy. Exactly. Like National Lampoon could have been that back in the day,
but they didn't have a couple of movies though.
They had some good movies, and then they had a ton of bad. But there was like a trademark thing where they were licensing out their trademarks. So some of the National Lampoon movies aren't actually a National Lampoon's movie, and so they kind of tainted the brand. And I kind of think that also hurt comedy for a while. And then you had all the rom-coms go up, and then the people got older and people started to shift and was like, oh, it's a girl movie, people don't want a rom-com, and then you had some great hard-hitting comedies such as like Old School or Superbad or The Hangover. But then people are like,
those anymore, right?
Yeah, you don't see those anymore because they were like, oh, we went from the rom-com era of like, oh, we don't want a girl movie to like now we want these hard guy comedies. But like they don't realize that comedy's for everybody. It shouldn't be about is it for a man or a woman. It should be about who is it for to share the experience with. Because most of the time when you're going to see a movie in a theater, there's a man and a woman there.
Exactly. Or same with comedy shows too.
Exactly. So you want to kind of encompass everybody. Have a little bit of something for everybody. And the studios didn't really kind of click on that back in the day. And they're still not there yet fully. But like with Bannock Jones, we really want to push that forward and create original comedies, absurd comedies, hard comedies, heartfelt comedies. Bring back some of the John Hughes vibes, but also find the absurdity and the laughter and the goofiness and really just amplify it up.
Oh, man.
And so that's what we're working on. Yeah, thank you.
Projects,
Thank you. We got a lot of movies in the works. We got a lot of TV shows in the works. This TV show was one of them.
It's
going to be
but you can't say
first.
what show this is.
I mean, maybe I can. The show's called High Spirits. You know, I won't tell you what it's about, but you can kind of guess. But but
this place
great.
looks kind of haunted. You know,
it's definitely a haunted. Haunted.
So maybe
show.
Some dead guy could show up on the chair anytime, man.
Anytime.
Yeah.
So, but there's a lot of fun, a lot of fun that we're working on.
Yeah, I mean, because are you more comfortable in the horror space, the comedy space, or somewhere in between?
I've worked on everything almost. I've worked from Sesame Street to like Friday the 13th and Scream to Transformers and Ninja Turtles. Yeah,
whoa.
I've worked on all, major franchises. That was kind of like my go-to background was like franchise and IP and development for film on that.
Okay.
So I've worked on so many different genres, but really comedy is like my vein. Comedy is where I like to be in. I like to, I oddly enough, I don't get to be in front of the camera as much. I'm usually the guy behind the camera, and I kind of choose to be that way. It's hard to, I don't know, get that ego kind of out of your brain when you're in front of the camera, because half the time when I'm in front of a camera, I'm like, well, what does it look like behind the camera? What's the lighting? What's the angle? What are we shooting? I get too technical in my own brain, and it's hard to separate. So a lot of times, if I do an in front of camera thing, it's with a friend, one of these, or it's a cameo in somebody's project or something. Because when I did YouTube, that's like all the different channels I worked on and did. That's I think it's over 4 billion views now across YouTube.
Really?
Yeah, from like Key of Awesome and Epic Mealtime, I'll Tune the News, Barely Political. Did all these channels. So I was in that original generation, like the first generation of YouTubers.
Okay.
But I was always behind the camera, or I would jump in front to do a quick cameo or wear a mask and do something goofy and silly, because I just loved being goofy, and I didn't really care too much about me and my persona.
Oh,
it was about being goofy.
Yeah, that's why I have you here.
But I don't do a lot of in front of camera.
Oh, okay.
Have you ever tried acting yet?
Oh, yeah. My first film was The Invention of Lying.
Oh, that's right. We talked about that. Before. So you've done acting.
Yeah.
Do you want to do more acting?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I might be the stand up with the highest box office number in China.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
I didn't play major roles, but I've been in a couple of really big blockbuster movies.
See, we got to do scenes together and goofy stuff at some point. Then
you know what? Next time I'll just maybe we can work some scenes together and act it out. That should be fun.
Let's test one. Let's try it out. Let's test one. I got on the spot.
I feel this is an audition now.
Right? No. Well, okay. So I also know that you're a very smart person. You've gone through all the university stuff, and you got your PhD. So
regretfully.
But a PhD means you're a doctor. In my mind, it means you're a doctor. So
it is. Yeah.
Let's do this. We'll set up the scene, right?
Yeah.
You'll play a doctor in this scene.
Okay.
So you're the doctor.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be your patient who has severe burns. Okay. So we'll start the scene.
So you have a burning sensation somewhere.
I'm covered in burns.
Oh, okay.
Bad burns. Lit a fire. Fell asleep. I got burned. You're the doctor. We'll start the scene. Ready? All right.
Okay.
And action. Ah! Oh God! Shut up! My penis is gone! Yeah, that's the scene. See, you did great.
You threw me off.
Terrified.
No, you threw me off a little bit. But I wanted to throw some coffee on you to calm you down.
Then your instinct
I can't do this. Oh, man. That's the audition.
There you go.
But by the way, have you done auditions?
You know, I don't really do.
Oh yeah, you don't do the.
Like I'm usually on the other side of the table for the auditions. You know, sometimes I'll audition for something just for shits and giggles.
Yeah.
Just to have fun or mess with somebody.
Okay. Oh man, that kind of when you talk about these different shows you were on. Remember in the old days, one show lasts like 12 years, 10 years. Simpsons like 3 decades.
Oh yeah, it's still going.
But with like YouTube channels, what do you feel is their kind of lifespan? How long they can last?
It really depends on the type of show it is. But it's. Like, it depends. Like, there's some people, like Philip DeFranco, he's still going. And he was part of the original generation of YouTubers like I was. And he's still going.
Oh, okay.
And he's still going strong. And then there's other people like Rhett and Link, once again, one of the original YouTubers, and they're still going strong. So it really comes down to, like, if you can keep making fresh daily kind of content, then just keep doing it. And you can do it for the rest of your life almost.
Okay.
It just comes down to I think it's about the wear and tear personally. Like where do you burn out? When do you stop? And it's about the commitment to consistency. But a lot of people don't realize it's a job. Like a YouTube channel is the same thing as a company. You're going to need to pay people to work with you. You're going to need to structure business plan it out, schedule it, keep a consistent schedule, and you're just going to have to keep going. And just because you don't pop off in the first year doesn't mean you're not going to. It's about consistency. Just keeping it going, because eventually you will find an audience if that audience exists. But it's also about knowing what your audience is going in. You don't want to start a cooking channel and then 1 month in you're like, it's going to be a stand-up comedy channel, and then another month in you're like, now I'm doing sketch comedy, and then another month in you're like, now I'm just talking about music facts. You don't want to change it up too much unless your channel was originally a variety show. If it's a variety show, then then you can, the sky's the limit.
That's good to know. Wow. And so, but with your studio, I know you do a lot of behind the camera stuff, but what's with all the writing staff here? I saw the other day, you're creating shows from scratch now, basically.
Yeah, we're doing a lot of original shows, a lot of original movies. Because with trying to come back and, at least make another wave or a splash in comedy. You need the right projects for the brand. Like there's a ton of people with great ideas out there that aren't getting picked up or realized. But sometimes, when we're building a startup and a brand, you have to build the brand, And it was something that, like, this whole studio didn't even really start the right way that it was going to. It was Kevin Smith, great filmmaker.
I love his movies. He talking about your own brand of comedy. He's got it.
Well, and see, that's what it is. And it was Kevin Smith that kind of gave me some of the words of wisdom I needed to hear almost. And then like we were at the where was it? It was we were at Yamashiro Hollywood for the after party for Jay and Silent Bob reboot. And Kevin and I were chatting.
I love that movie.
Great movie. But he was busy all night because there's so many people. But we got a chance to kind of at the end of the night settle down. People were kind of leaving, and we just kind of had a chat for a good 15, 20 minutes or so. And we're talking about, like, how long I've worked in Hollywood and how long he has, and his different, ups and down roller coasters, my up and down roller coaster.
I always assume he's still in New Jersey, though, just from his film.
Well, like, he's building his own empire in New Jersey, and good on him. Bring it back to his home, and now he's got a store, he's got a theater, he's got a podcast studio. Like, he's got everything. So he's built his dream.
Yeah, he's still in Hollywood. I saw him at the Flappers the other day.
Exactly. Yeah. So he's still out here, but he's flying everywhere all the time. But what he ended up saying to me as we were talking about it is, he was saying that nowadays it's not like you walk down the street anymore and somebody goes, hey, you got a great, interesting look, I'm going to make you a star, or come in for this audition, you look great. People aren't going to say that anymore. They don't care. about building up a new career. A lot of people are thinking about their own career or the finances behind it. And so, you know, he was like, if you're going to make it nowadays, you have to make it. And that kind of hit me and was like, oh shit, that's totally right. If you're going to make it, you have to start making it for yourself. You have to put in the work yourself nowadays.
Yeah, that's
excuse me.
Oh yeah, yeah. So that just made me feel that, well, at least for now, a lot of people seem to be basically working for social media companies for free. You know, just constantly churning out content. You know,
and doing that is a great way to kind of establish yourself or build your own personal brand. But it has to grow beyond that. You know, like it can't just be I'm a social media influencer.
Yeah.
Because if that platform goes away, and we've seen it happen to Vine, Periscope, I don't know any of the others. MySpace, I don't know.
Yeah, MySpace. Yeah, exactly.
You know, but you could build up and then overnight be gone, and it meant nothing.
Yeah.
Unless you find a way to build your personal brand into a brand, you know, and find a way to grow in your career for yourself, you know. So those are all factors that kind of play into it.
Yeah.
But it was kind of that factor for me that Kevin said, like, you have to go make it. And I told that to my partner, Philip Wilburn. And, you know, for him, he had also been in comedy forever, kind of doing his own shows and different things. And then for him, he was like, you know, that just kind of made him realize, yeah, I've been doing this for just forever. I also have to make it for myself. And so we came together and opened Bannock Jones, and you know, and now we're trying to do exactly that with these original comedies and projects.
So basically you guys got together, and how do you like go out and find funding for all these?
Starts with a ski mask, you know.
But, printed a gun.
Yeah. You know, we started with ski masks and water guns, but now we've upgraded. Now we got an assault rifle. We got a few trucks.
The whole arsenal.
You know? Got a whole room of writers, desperate and hungry. It's kind of all over the place. It really is. Like, the business world of filmmaking is so business and corporate that the art form of it is really kind of removed. You know, there's two different brains when you're kind of building the studio and all these different things that I had to learn, because I knew the creative brain, the development brain from the studio. Like Brad Gray was really great to me at Paramount, and really kind of helped, you know, me kind of learn certain structures about, you know, being a studio head and what it takes. And then, you know, if I would have known I would open my own studio one day, I probably would have stayed at Paramount a little bit longer to kind of learn more from him. But nowadays, you know, like I just kind of have to separate the brain and go, this is business. This is how you have to structure. You got to go to VCs, angel investors, pitch these, because it's not like you can go in nowadays, at least for us, with one project and just try to get financing for that one project. I have to go in and talk to these major investment companies to try to raise just millions upon millions to be able to cover salary in giant studios and sound stages. And then I have to finance multiple films in one go, because I need to be pumping out constant content, especially in today's world. If we're not releasing 4 films a year at least, there's a problem.
So how many hours do you sleep every night now?
I don't sleep. I never sleep anymore.
Oh, we can tell. Oh my God.
I'm always the guy that work, somebody will see me still working late, you know, or coming in early. You got to. I mean, I over the course of my career, I think the longest I've ever stayed up straight on a set, oh God, I forgot how many hours it was exact, but it was over 80 hours.
Wait a minute. Really?
Yeah, I was juggling 3 features at one time, all shooting in the same state. And I would leave from one set, drive immediately to the next one, and then immediately to the next one. And then I would just keep doing the triangle of driving to all those different spots. Jesus. And then, of course, when you do have those downtime, there is no downtime, because like some of them were smaller productions, you know, only like $1 million or $2 million. So we would have to go and like pick up extra lighting or a grip truck, and the crew can't do it because they just work 16 hours. So who's going to do it? Well, if somebody's got to do it, I'll do it. And so I would jump in the truck with the assistant director or somebody, and we would drive and go pick up more lighting and come back around, and we just kept doing that nonstop. I'd be, you know, stop over at McDonald's, grab a breakfast burrito and a coffee, and stop at 7-Eleven, grab another coffee and a Red Bull and a 5-hour energy. And we just kept doing that, and by the end of it, like we finally finished all of it in like one last go, and it might have been 83 or 82 hours, I think, straight. And then we were just time to go to sleep. And the worst part is you couldn't sleep after.
Yeah, I
like you did, like when you can and you're ready, you can't.
Oh,
it was horrible.
How long did it take for you to recover?
I'm still recovering.
Because I've done similar things when I was younger, but it was actually having fun, you know, playing, partying for 72 hours straight. But still, after that, I just crashed for almost a week. I was like, oh,
yeah,
man.
it definitely. I was definitely down for at least a week almost. You know, after that, like I just needed a break.
Wow.
And it's not even like you're fully resting either, because it's not how you're wired. You know, you're just exhausted and wanting to sleep.
Yeah.
But your brain is still going. So like even during that, I was still doing paperwork, you know, or I was still writing some stuff down or doing something, and then I'd try to go back to sleep. And so it was just one of those, you know.
Wow.
And that was just life, how it was.
Oh my God. Jeez.
But that's, you got to go through those. You got to push yourself.
That's actually pretty inspiring for me, actually. You know, because sometimes I do these podcasts. You know I'm a comedian. We joke around. But I do get inspiration from people like you. You know, it's like, oh, wow, you know, he's working so hard. I shouldn't give up either.
That's saying is like everybody should work hard. And I always say that, like, level up. Find a way to keep yourself always leveling up and always going. Even if you become a master at something, it doesn't mean you can't get better at being that master. You know, like, always find new knowledge to grow yourself, change, and expand your mindset. Find those moments to level up. Because at the same time, like, you know, I was a huge lover of red cameras, you know, red digital cinema. And like, I was a big advocate for the very first Red 1 camera that ever released. And that was like the very first digital video, like film camera, you know, essentially, like, you know, for movie making. And everybody said I was crazy, that digital would never be the future, you know, it was always going to be film. And I was like, are you insane? I was like, digital is going to be the future, because look at your TVs, look at your computers. It's going to be the future whether you like it or not. You got to get on the bandwagon, or else you're going to be left behind. And so I was really advocating, pushing on that, and learning that technology in that angle, and that excelled me so much faster. But nowadays, like, there's been so many red cameras, so many other digital cameras. They change everything every year.
I know.
And if you don't keep going with that and leveling up, you're going to forget. Just because I know how to use the red 1 year doesn't mean I know how to use it the next year.
But I'm thinking about getting a digital camera, but I'm having a hard time deciding on one. There's so many out there. You know, there's so the lighter ones. You know, there's one with you know, more powerful zoom. It's just, what do you?
Well, and see, that's the real thing. Is like, for me as a filmmaker, especially, like, I have to look at what type of content am I producing. Because the sensor changes the way things look. The lens that you pair it with changes the way it looks. Depending on the camera and the sensor you get, the amount of lighting and the type of lighting will change the way it looks. So there's all these tiny little aesthetic factors that kind of fall into it for my head. And for comedy, I like, at least for like the Bandit Jones level of comedy we're trying to do, I'm still a very big red fan on it. But it's got to be with the right lenses, and I got to know that I'm going to overlight to get the best out of the sensor. Because I want it to look warm and commercial and friendly and high-end, but I still want a richness in the colors and and to make people not go like, oh my God, it's so cinematic and beautiful. I want them to go, it looks great, and I can enjoy what I'm looking at. You know?
So can you give me an example? What do you consider is a great cinematography?
Like great cinematography, the Lighthouse was just amazing cinematography. I mean, that's not a comedy, but like the Lighthouse, how they did that film technically was just beautiful.
Okay.
There's a lot of fun. Even Kevin Costner's Horizon, that was very cinematically beautiful. Even no matter how the films were itself or the content, it was still very cinematic and beautiful.
Okay.
Eugene Levy has an amazing show on Apple. I forgot what it's called.
Oh, yeah.
His travel show that he does.
And, not him and his son.
Not with him and his son, not Schitt's Creek.
Oh, Schitt's Creek, no.
He has a travel show on Apple.
Oh.
And that is just so beautiful. The way they filmed that and the cinematography for like a travel reality show.
Apple camera?
It's not an Apple camera. No. But it's just beautiful show for reality television. That was beautifully done. Obviously, Top Gun has some great cinematography in it as well. Maverick. Top Gun Maverick, has some beautiful cinematography.
The comedy show? The comedy movie? Oh, really? Okay. Well, I just basically paid attention to the comedy. I didn't notice the cinematography. But.
Well, but there's also great films with great cinematography that are comedy, like Pineapple Express.
Oh, okay.
If you look at Pineapple Express, forgive me, I forgot who the cinematographer was. It might have been.
You're forgiven. No.
Can't remember his name now. But that's a beautifully done comedy. And it's beautifully done in the world that it created and presented. It captures angles that are fun, engaging, shocking, without having to be perfectly beautiful. It captured the world perfectly.
Oh.
So that's a beautiful one. And I also love...
Speaking of cinematography, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder if there's something wrong with me, because whenever I see movies or TV shows with bright colors, I felt sleepy. It's like Finding Nemo, that kind of color scheme, or The Good Life. It's brilliantly written show. I can tell, but then just the colors, even though it's really bright, it puts me to sleep. But some movies, they look really dark, but I'm okay with it. Do you feel this way, or?
No.
Oh, no.
No, it's just
something else wrong with me.
No. But I mean, I guess I can understand if it's almost overstimulating. It can be exhausting.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. It's very visually stimulating, so your eyes are constantly looking at everything everywhere, and so
maybe it's just too much.
Yeah.
Okay. I see your point.
Maybe that's where it's coming from. That's the only thing I can think of.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
But yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I really look forward to your projects now.
Me too.
You know so much about cinematography. It's very rare among comedians, to be honest.
Well, I mean, like when I started out, I was making my own films on an old Super 8 camera in the backyard.
Oh, you have that background.
I used to go around to like all the local mom and pop businesses when I was younger and try to like convince them, hey, for €500, I'll go and make your commercial for your business. And a lot of them were like, oh, this kid or whatever. And so some of them would say, sure, and do it to help a kid out. And then they would be like, oh, this is like a real commercial afterwards. And I was like, yeah, that's what I said I was going to do. I'm a businessman.
Wow,
so I do that.
That must have been really rare back in the day.
Yeah. Like nobody was doing that.
Yeah, exactly. But now it's more popular. You go to a coffee shop, there's always some guy with a camera.
Yeah, or a cell phone.
Yeah.
Something, yeah. So, I'd like... Used to be able to make money at it. Now I don't know.
Well, there's still money in it. I'm sure, because they do hire people with a nice camera to for social media advertisement.
Yeah,
that's what a lot of directors started. Just from commercials.
Yeah. I guess technically that would be where I kind of got my start. I guess was doing commercials. But not the nice commercials. I was doing like, here's a random pizza store. Here's a bocce ball court.
Oh, yeah. And speaking of cinematography, I remember I was watching when Louis C.K. show first came out on FX. I was watching with a writer friend of mine. He was like, "Oh, this show won't last the season." Yeah, I said, why? He said, because there's no structure to the story. Yeah.
Sometimes personality perseveres over traditional storytelling.
That's absolutely right. Yeah,
and that should just be a common staple in comedy, because if you look at sketch shows, they don't really have a structure. Like the sketch themselves might have a structure, but they're just scene after scene after scene. You're there for the joke, the punch, and the kooky personality. That's why like people love Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey, blew up from doing In Living Color, and the kookiness and characters. But if you look at it, it's not like, even SNL, like, it's not like there's an exact format and structure. It's just what's funny, move on to the next, and that's kind of the structure for comedy. And there's certain movies that are that way. Look, my very favorite comedy film of all time is Dirty Work. And Dirty Work was directed by Bob Saget. A lot of people that don't know
Wait a minute, Bob directed it?
Yeah. Bob Saget directed Dirty Work. It starred...
I'm so proud of it. That's not my work, but I love Bob. He's just a great guy.
Was great.
Yeah,
he was great. Rest in peace, Bob.
Rest in peace.
Norm Macdonald.
Oh man, you're talking about two of my favorite guys.
Same. Norm Macdonald.
I worked for both of them before. Yeah.
Oh, see, that's great.
Yeah,
Lucky dog.
I know. I used to ride the limo with Bob Saget back in New England. Man, he is just so famous, unbelievable. So once this limo got pulled over, it was after a comedy show. It was really late, like wee hours in the morning. We're speeding a little bit, but got pulled over. Bob Saget just said, just roll over the window. That's all it takes. The cops saw him. Oh, Mr. Saget.
Yeah.
It's just that easy. I was like, you serious?
Like Bob.
But I do have to say that I bought him a Burger King burger. So that's my
there you go,
highlight of my life.
I'll tell you my little tiny Bob Saget story. When I was very early in my career, like I was making projects like very early on, just backyard productions.
Yeah,
he was judging some comedy film festival thing. Like he was a judge on it.
Okay.
And I had made a really bad Star Wars parody, sent that in. Like, we didn't even have lightsabers in it because we couldn't afford it. We didn't know how to do the VFX.
What's wrong with you?
We just have the sound effects. They were just people holding handles and going, like, we didn't have the thing. We didn't know how to do the VFX. And so we just did it.
At the time, there's no lightsaber toys.
No, like it just didn't have it, And so we made our own and sent that in. And, sometimes you'll get back like the comment card, especially back in the day. Like it wasn't like Film Freeway where it was like over the top film festivals. They were limited film festivals, small film festivals. And so you would actually get some feedback sometimes. So the feedback I got from Bob Saget on it was, I believe, and I might be paraphrasing, but it was like, why did I watch this crap?
So constructive.
Yeah, and I was like, all right, Bob Saget. But yeah, Dirty Work. If you haven't watched Dirty Work, go watch Dirty Work. Seriously.
Wow, I didn't know he directed it.
He directed. I think he also wrote it as well with Norm Macdonald. Before he passed away, they were working on a sequel, and it broke my heart. Broke my heart.
I mean, I just wanted to say this too, because during the pandemic, there's a lot of Asian hate. He actually texted me. He was like, "Hey, sorry, buddy, about what's happening to your community. Totally get this." I was very moved. There were so few people actually come out and support us. He's one of them. So
because he's a good guy.
Oh yeah,
he loves dirty humor, but
there's nothing wrong with dirty humor.
Not at all. You wouldn't expect it on a Bob Saget. A lot of people are kind of like, Bob Saget's a dirty comedian. Of course he's a dirty comedian.
Because within this business, everybody knows. It's outside of it, people didn't know.
Exactly. They just it's like Full House. That's the guy, and it's like, he's a dirty comedian.
Yeah, but that's a selling point. A lot of kids turn out just to see Uncle Bob telling dirty jokes.
Exactly. And like, since that's the thing, is like, but like, no matter all the dirty jokes and the humor and all that, like he was a very gentle soul and a sweet guy as well,
and he keeps writing scripts.
Always, he was always doing something, even if it wasn't going to get made. He was getting it to pen and paper. And I think that's also another lesson for people that is, don't stop writing the idea down. It was something my grandfather told me when I was very young. He said, hey, your brain's not going to last the way it does right now in this moment. He was like, so no matter what the idea is, if you think it's a good idea, bad idea, anything, write it down. Just keep it in a shoebox, keep it in a journal, keep a stack of journals, whatever it is, because eventually your brain is going to slow down, and you being a creative person are going to go crazy. Because you're not going to feel as creative as you used to be.
I'm already
going to want to go back.
Yeah, man. That's just such a sound advice, to be honest. It
is. And I didn't listen to it as much as I should have. Like, I've always kind of kept some stuff, But, like, I should have done better job at writing all that stuff down and remembering it. But every once in a while, I'll sit down and I'll go back and I'll look at something. I'll remember something. And then, oddly enough, some of those get reworked into something brand new today, and it works.
Yeah, remember the movie, Woody Allen movie, Midnight in Paris?
Yeah,
that was a 2-minute bit back in the '60s. Yeah, but now it's it's an Oscar movie. It's 40 years later.
So wow. There's a lot of good. There's a lot of good in the ideas, even if it's young.
Wow.
And so remember that, kids. Write it down.
Yes, since we're talking about older comedians, like Norm Macdonald's, one thing I really have to be thankful for about him was we did a show together in Boston, and that was the time when I was booked to host the White House Correspondents' Dinner. He just told me, "Hey, Joe, I just want to let you know it's a really tough audience. Most comedians bomb there. You just have to be prepared." And lo and behold, when I was doing the show, it was about 15 minutes, but the first 4 to 5 minutes wasn't great, But then since he warned me, I'm okay. I just basically plowed through, but by about 5 minutes, they started to, applaud and laugh harder. I was like, but really, his warning really helped me to gain my footing there. It was one of the most nervous shows I've ever done.
See, and that's what I also love about Norm, because he's gone through a lot of bombing, but it's his style of comedy because he loves to bomb for himself. Because he loves that long, drawn-out story that goes nowhere.
I know.
Because it makes him laugh to see other people squirm.
But that's the thing, people don't appreciate that as much anymore,
No, they really don't.
They probably don't have the patience anymore with social media, just but right now, it's if audience is not laughing, I'm laughing, you have to fill the void somehow, but that shouldn't be the case in my opinion. You gotta just simmer down and wait for the punch.
Well, and I always tell people, especially when they're like, oh, how do you do comedy? How do you write your jokes? How do you do this? A lot of times for me, it's what's funny to you, and that's all that matters. Because as a comedian, comedy has to be selfish first in order for you to share it to other people. Because you have to think it's funny enough to share it with someone else. So it has to be funny to you. And that's where it really needs to land. Because if it's funny for you, there will be an audience out there, but it doesn't have to be everybody. But as long as you can go on that stage and make yourself laugh and feel good, it doesn't matter what that audience thinks. Because even Adam Sandler went through times in his career where, he would go up on stage and do horrible, but he didn't give up. And there's clips of Adam Sandler going you might not be laughing now, but one day I'm going to have 50 cars and a mansion. And, and look what happened. Now he's Adam Sandler. And not a single person is going to be I don't enjoy Adam Sandler, and it's the same as Jim Carrey. Well, he was always great. But but Jim Carrey will go over the top, to make people laugh. but to also entertain himself. And Robin Williams, another person who, rest in peace, Robin Williams, but like, he would also make comedy for himself. He wanted to laugh even if no one else was laughing, because he would be going and you would hear these stories, people would be dying laughing, and then it's like, oh, it's gone on for too long now. It's not as funny. But Robin will keep going, and eventually it becomes funny again, And sometimes that's what comedy is. Make yourself laugh first and enjoy the joke first, and eventually somebody else will pick that up and share that.
Yeah. Oh, sorry about that.
No worries. No worries.
Yeah.
Damn you!
Yeah. So just so you know, there are other people in the studio, so sometimes phones go off.
Yeah. So your White House correspondence, question for you, was it when you started doing the Joe Biden stuff that the audience turned, or when was the turning point during that show? Yeah, the turning point was actually a scary moment for me. Ooh. Keep in mind, this was back in 2010, where the whole country is in the middle of a recession. So that joke was, my son was asking me, why do I have to learn 2 languages? I just said, son, one day when you become the president of the United States, you have to talk to, sign legislative bills in English and talk to debt collectors in Chinese. Because before I delivered the line, I was like, oh no, what if people feel sad about the current affairs, But when I said the line, people started to laugh and applaud. I was like, okay, I got them. Because at the time, during those times, it's pretty raw. It's a lot of people got unemployed. They moved back with their parents. But they still laughed. I was like, okay, I think they're okay. Did Joe Biden laugh?
Oh yeah, he's a great sport.
Okay.
Whatever your opinion about him, he's a very down-to-earth person.
Well, and I know he loves comedy.
Yeah, loves comedy. And afterwards, he actually came to me and my wife to chat us up.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he was like, hey, Joe, just remember in the future, when you got really big and famous, if your people tell you Joe Biden's outside, please just don't go.
Now, since he's become president, have you talked to him since?
Oh no, I haven't.
Really?
Yeah, he's gone. He's.
I'm very close friends with Joe Biden. Oh,
so I can tell.
Yeah, I can call him. You want to call Joe Biden right now?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's try.
Yeah.
Let's try to call Joe Biden. Yeah. See if he'll pick up. I don't think he's going to pick up.
Okay.
But we'll try. Hold on. Let me. Joe Biden. All right, okay, here we go.
Okay.
We're going to try to see. Oh.
Wow, I'm nervous.
I hit the wrong button.
Oh. You should.
It's ringing.
Yeah.
Joe, man, what's up?
Hey, Joe Biden. It's Ewan Gotfryd.
Ewan, hey, what's going on?
I'm here with Joe Wong. He was a comedian, and back in 2010, roasted you for the White House Correspondents' Dinner. I don't know if you remember, Joe.
I remember that. 2 whites make a Wong. That's what I hear.
See, he's got a great sense of humor.
Oh my God!
I know you're
Mr.
really
Biden. I'm right here.
Hey, how's it going, Joe?
I'm good. How about you?
Hey, I'm doing just fine. Just trying to sort all the stuff from the peaceful transition of power. I couldn't tell what was my stuff and what was the White House's, because all my stuff's as old as it is. You understand?
So, is everything in your box now, or what's the status?
Right now, just spending a lot of time working on my presidential library. Right now, we're working on the ice cream bar, and trust me, it's great. Coming in great, doing samples every day.
Oh my God! So it's a library of ice cream.
It's a presidential library, but most of my presidential stuff revolved around ice cream, so it works out well for me. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I totally get it, Joe.
He loves ice cream.
Yeah.
That's how I met Joe.
Man, I'm so glad we got to reconnect, because you said you were going to visit me, but what happened after you became president?
I got a lot of stuff. Jill has me doing a lot of chores and stuff like that.
Oh.
So, things fall by the wayside. Yeah, I remember when me and Ewan, we met. We were at an ice cream shop over in, I believe it was in Los Feliz. That's a part of Los Angeles. But anyway, point is, we were having an ice cream. I had 2 scoops. He had 27 scoops because he'd been smoking some doobie.
I did. It was an ice cream social. It was a great social.
Yeah, but wait a minute. I didn't even remember Hunter was there. But
it's legal in California. I might have done a couple of hits myself. I used to do that back behind the Oval Office. No tell, don't tell.
So now you're leaving the office.
You are on a podcast right now. Just to let you know.
Man, that would have been good. That would have been good to front load.
Yeah, sorry. I should have said that at the beginning.
Front load is the word.
Again on an open mic. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
The point is.
So now you're leaving office. Can you tell us finally whose cocaine was found at the White House there at the time?
Yeah, that's a sticky wicket. That cocaine was really
sticky
good.
Wicket.
It was good stuff. I actually picked it up on my LA trip. I found it was sprinkles for my ice cream.
Oh, okay.
Me.
Oh, wow.
Energy in the world that day.
Oh, man.
He got it from a porn star's birthday party in a bathroom.
Okay. Oh, wow. Well, I wish you a very smooth transition with the Donald.
Oh, yeah. What a peach he is,
I know.
Not Peach a nice guy, but Peach is in color. He's orange. He's an orange guy.
Yeah, I know. Orange guy, not peachy guy. Okay.
Yeah, but, it'll be all right. I'll be at the inauguration, unlike him. But that's okay. That's okay. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be a good time.
Yeah, so when you're at the inauguration, you're going to be wearing the MAGA hat again, or...
Oh, yeah, that was a good smooth move, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Put a MAGA hat on.
Uh-huh.
Let's go, Brandon, that kind of thing. But, that's all good.
All right. Well, Joe, I feel like I'm just going to get you in more trouble. I feel like we caught you at a moment where Jill's going to be chasing you down shortly.
Well, thank you so much, though, for picking up the phone.
But, hey, I just hope that you and yours, I hope I can come on your podcast sometime in the future. We can do it from my presidential library, and we can just eat ice cream the whole time.
For the
listeners.
It'd be a good catch-up for you.
Yeah, I would love to. Yeah, that would be a great episode.
All right, well, you guys take it easy.
Okay.
Out of trouble.
All right, thank you, Mr. President.
The United States of America.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Okay,
thanks for picking up my call. Bye.
Hey, Jill, how do I hang this thing up?
Okay, all right.
I hung up for him. I don't know if that's going to get me in trouble later.
Well, we just added something to his legacy.
There you go.
Oh, yeah, man.
You heard it here.
Yeah, cocaine sliced ice cream.
Ice cream and cocaine for Joe Biden. It's a cocaine day.
Oh, okay.
Boy.
Well, thank you so much for being on my podcast. It was a lot of fun.
Thank you. Thank you. This was a lot of fun.
Thank
you for putting up my shenanigans.
No, I love it. Trust me. I'm a comedian. That's what I go for. Okay, well, thank you again. And hopefully we're going to, work on some project together.
Yes, we will. We will. You heard it here first.
Oh, right. Okay. You put your foot down. Okay. I remember before the show.
Put my foot up. This is how we should have done the whole interview. Oh, this is kind of nice.
Oh, yeah.
Like we should have done this the whole time.
But that's what people say about the American culture. They put their feet on the coffee table to talk about serious projects. So
we just need cigars.
Yeah, exactly. If I use Silicon Valley or something, remember this was the first thing you do to get angel investors interested.
This is how we finance all of our comedies. We're just like, they're gonna be great.
Trust me on this one.
Money, power, love, and appreciation.
Yeah, exactly. And then feet on the table.
Feet on the table.
Okay. All right, thank you again. And just let us know where we can find you and follow you.
You can find me across social media at Got Ewan, Gotewan. And yeah, find me there.
Okay. Make sure you follow him, and thank you again.
Just don't follow me home. Jesus. Not again.
That's it.
Not again.
Not again.
You only get one.
That's my job.
There you go. I'll see you in my closet later.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Cool.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks.